Hello, welcome back to Gray the Gold Witch. Today we're doing a reading on the best strategy for your situation, and we have 4 piles today. The first pile is this beautiful giraffe. The second is orca agate, an orca agate flame to be exact. The third is this elephant by Dali. Well, it's not by Dali, but it's meant to look like that. One of the ones by Salvador Dali. And the fourth is a carnelian stone. So take a second and meditate on these piles. Pause the video if you need to, and I will see you in your reading. Bye. Hey, pile 1, if you chose the giraffe, then this is your reading all on the best strategy for your situation. So let's get into it. We're going to first use tarot and then go to the oracle cards. I'm going to first ask, well, you'll see. Shuffle them real quick. So what is this situation about? 2 of Swords and Justice in reverse. What is the best strategy for this situation? Page of Wands. And what is the extra context we need? King of Pentacles. Strength. And 6 of Cups. With the Fool in reverse on the back of the deck. Okay. So, pile 1. What this looks like to me is that something you had hoped would work out and something that you saw a future with hasn't panned out in the way you expected it to. And it feels unfair, and what I think you're dealing with is immature people and people's burdens from their past, and you're being asked to have strength right now through this and know that this is not over. And the best way for you to handle this, Spirit's saying, is to have a beginner's mindset. To know that you're going to reach lasting stability and rise up into this King of Pentacles. But it will take time. And you're just being asked to be open to new directions in your life and flowing with the currents of your life. It seems like you had a false start in something, and I think it's weighing on you how the situation played out and how things didn't turn out in your favor. But this is teaching you a very valuable lesson, and it's teaching you what you deserve out of life. The main thing you're being asked by Spirit to practice right now is humility and gratitude for what you have now, and the fact that you have a path forward, because you have a very clear ability to continue taking steps in the right direction to have a happy outcome. So the best strategy for this situation is to wipe the slate clean and start again, and know that trial and error is how we learn and how we grow. This I like, it really frustrates me when people say, like, failure is the best learning lesson. Like, it just makes me mad. But that's really what the cards are saying for you, is that whatever happened here, I think it is a slight on your ego. It makes your ego feel bad. But you're going to be successful. It's in the cards for you that you might just be less experienced in this venture, or haven't had a lot of experiences in a situation like this, and you're learning from how this situation panned out to know how you want to plan ahead in the future. And this is nothing to be ashamed of. This is life in its most authentic form, you know? Things don't always pan out the way we want them to, which is frustrating. But Spirit's saying that you will be successful. You just have to keep trying and continue to be passionate about what you care about and make leaps forward. This is about just continuing to push ahead. I love that there's this like red carpet up to the King of Pentacles. I see you slowly evolving into the King of Pentacles over time. But you must have strength to do this and the willpower to do this. And I feel like this situation is toughening you up for this battle to become this King of Pentacles. And right now you're the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is so silly in this card. I think you're just meant to have a lighter approach towards this. I feel like this is really weighing on you. And with the Page of Wands here, I'm feeling like you're meant to take this a little less seriously. And know that's what's meant for you will come for you. And in the future, you'll see why this worked out the way it did, in hindsight. But for now, you're being asked to be accepting of the fact you have limited information, and that trial and error is the way you will move forward in confidence and in happiness. So, yeah. You're meant to continue to act and see what the results bring, because the more you do this, the more you'll grow into the King of Pentacles. So let's look at the Oracle cards. We have the Orphan. We have the Forest. And we have the Vision. You're dealing with fears of the triggers of abandonment and the feeling of things not working out. And I feel a lot of confusion here, like not knowing where your path is leading. But the thing is at the same time, there's a duality to this, because you have seen a future for yourself that inspires you and empowers you. And you're being asked to continue to work towards this future and just keep taking the next right step to it. Because you might not know how you're going to grow from this Page of Wands to this King of Pentacles, but you've seen the fact that this future is a possibility for you. So the main thing you can do right now to heal from this situation is to process this grief of not getting what you had hoped for or expected, and realizing that this is still leading you on the path to your destiny. It's just not the turn you would have expected it to take. We have Queen Victoria. I would venture to warn against too great intimacy with artists, as it is very seductive and a little dangerous. No girl would go to the altar if she knew all. The important thing is not what they think of me, but what I think of them. You're definitely having ego responses to this not working out, but Spirit's saying what matters is what you think of them and not what they think of you. And fixating on what they think of you and why things worked out the way they did won't help you at all. You're meant to step into your confidence of self and knowing that you deserve more than this. So what matters is what you think of this situation and why it didn't work out for you. This is a learning lesson you're meant to analyze and use to your advantage moving forward. And with the Queen Victoria card here, there's so many people around her listening to her, and it's reinforcing this King of Pentacles that you're growing into. It's just taking time, and you're still headed in the right direction. It's just not the direction you expected it to be, and that's completely fine. continue to know your worth. That's a big message here. Don't let this in any way affect your sense of self-worth. Marcel Duchamp, scandal before stardom, making it look easy is hard. May your bathroom humor leave a serious legacy. Okay, this kind of reminds me of this silly guy. May your bathroom humor leave a serious legacy. You're meant to find the humor in the situation in whatever way you can. And that can be really annoying to hear, but however you can laugh about this or make light of this will help your spirit and help you move forward in a positive direction. And I'm being reminded that no one becomes a star on their first try. It takes a lot of effort and moving parts, and making it look easy is hard. Like, I'm thinking about the Kardashians. It took them years, even after starting their reality show, to become taken seriously and have the reputation they have now. So I'm being reminded that time is a big factor here for you, and also you're meant to take yourself less seriously, because no matter what, you're going to end up in the role that you've seen yourself being in. It's just not happening in the exact way you expected it to. Earth's heart. Oh my god. So this immediately enforces to me that whatever the situation was didn't deserve you, it didn't align with you, and it would have left you feeling even more rejected had you continued in it. So know that the fact that this didn't work out was a very clear indication that you have a beautiful soul and were protected from this. So have this open-mindedness of this Page of Wands, because you just need to trust where you're being led, because with our Earth's heart here, you're being led in the right direction, and whatever doesn't work out is a blessing in disguise. I really see that. And you're being asked to watch comedy shows and comedy movies and find a lightness of spirit right now. Because yes, you can't see the forest for the trees, right? Or the trees right now. You can't see the big picture in this little one. You will one day, and you'll see how things worked out the best way they could. This is beautiful. This is a very affirming message that not all who wander are lost. Water. 12th house. Stellium. Okay, so I see you're going to have a burst of energy soon. A stellium talks about a burst of passion or an intensifying energy. And I see that you're having this. With water here, Scorpio season, or whatever water season when you're watching this is coming up next, will be very significant for you. And with the 12th house here, I see that this is happening on a metaphysical level, and you can trust the pieces to fall into place. I really think late October through December are going to be very significant for this journey, and for you to see that things worked out the way they meant to. You're going to have a very clear realization of why things happened the way they did very soon. This isn't something you're going to have to wait on. So know that whatever this is, it's boosting your energy and making you more aligned with this path that you want to get to. You're going to get there faster because of this turn of events. We have remain positive and romance. Well, with remain positive, I feel like this reinforces what we've been discussing, that things are working out, best case scenario. I really see that in your spread. And with romance, I think you're being asked to romanticize your life a little bit more. Even if you already have romance in your life, take it how it resonates. I think you're being asked to put on your rose-colored glasses a little bit more than you do, because I see you're a very practical person and very logical, and this is important. But sometimes it's okay to romanticize your life and hope for changes and hope for more beauty, and I really see that for you. So last we have body. With body here, I see that you're being asked to take care of your body above all else, and that Your inner life is very alive right now, and I think you're very much in your mind, and coming back into your body will give you a lot of peace. Eating enough food, getting some movement, honoring the vessel you're in will connect your spirit to your body more and bring you more into alignment with your present moment. So when you need to, when you feel out of whack, focusing on your body is a good place to start, Paiwan. So yes, this is all I'm getting for you. You have a lot to look forward to. Believe in yourself. Remain positive. It was an honor to read for you. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and I'll see you in another reading. Take care. Bye. Hey, Bile 2. If you chose the Orca Agate, then this is your reading on how to best handle the strategy that's best for your situation. So, let's look at the tarot cards, why don't we? Hope you're having a good day or night whenever you're watching this. Okay. For Pile 2, what is this situation that they are coming to talk about today? 7 of Pentacles, or 7 of Cups. The Judgment in reverse. And the 2 of Swords. The 2 of Swords keeps coming out for this portion of the reading. That's so interesting. So now we're going to look at the strategy. Magician. And the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And any extra context we need to know. Page of Swords. King of Wands. 2 of Wands. Okay. I can tell that with this situation, you just want everyone to be happy. Who's involved? You want the greatest amount of happiness for all involved. And I think the situation you're dealing with is something that you don't really have control over. It's something that's out of your control, and you feel like you can't really grasp it or understand it fully. And because you can't understand it fully, your first instinct is to walk away from it or to run from it. And this is a completely valid response. I mean, things we don't understand can make us fearful. But your strategy here, the strategy that Spirit's calling you to have, is to let it play out how it's going to play out. And focus on what you have control over, what you can do. And if you're asking for the happiest thing for all involved, you're really being asked to loosen your grip. To let the cards fall how they may. I think you might feel as though this situation, somebody's not being practical enough, or they're not listening to you, or they don't have it planned meticulously in the way you think they should. Whatever this is, it's something that's causing you to want to run away from it, to reject it, you want, if this is someone, if you're dealing with another person, you want them to reject their desires or fantasies because you think that things should be more practical. But I'm hearing that there's more to this than meets the eye, and you're meant to watch how this pans out rather than making judgments too soon, because this is larger than you understand, and you're really being asked to practice the serenity prayer here. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. I'm reminded with all of these people here, we really only have control over ourselves, and it's okay if you don't appreciate what other people are doing. But your action for that is just not to do that thing, or not to spend time focused on it, and instead do the things that empower you and make you feel good. Because I'm seeing that what you're frightened of is more positive and could have more of a future than you currently are able to process or understand. So you're being asked to live and let live in whatever the situation is. And a time will come where you understand, or you even appreciate the situation. I think because you don't understand it, you're fearful of it. And you're being asked to ground yourself, and I'm also hearing right-size this situation. I feel like it's really big in your head, and you're meant to trust in your higher power that things are working out the way they're meant to. And I'm hearing this phrase again, not all who wander are lost. So I think you're somebody who manifests really well for yourself and knows what you want and how to plan it. But some people just operate differently than you, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't mean the way they operate is necessarily wrong. It just means it's a different path than you might have chosen to take. So, yeah, I hope this makes sense to you. This is vague, but this message came through very strongly. This also, with the Two of Wands, this looks like a chessboard behind her. And there's a lot of different moves you can make on a chessboard and still win. So you're being asked to just broaden your perspective here and give this time to unfold before you make any opinions about it. So let's look at your oracle cards. We have the comic and the ocean. I'm being reminded of the phrase that we're all just a drop in this larger ocean. And everything has meaning that we do in life. Everything has purpose. And there's something about you seeing life in a more sacred way here that could be helpful to you. Seeing, even maybe reading some Carl Jung psychoanalysis could broaden your perspective on this and the subconscious and the unseen within the scene of our lives. You're meant to be lighthearted about this. I think you're taking this more seriously than it needs to be. And you're meant to loosen your grip and realize that this card talks about how people who are comics or have the comic archetype can see things very clearly. And that's why they're able to laugh at things and they see things from all perspectives. And you're being asked, like this card states, to see this from a different perspective and not stay so fixated on one way of looking at this. There's multiple angles to look at this situation from. And they'll give you a lot more peace too, because I feel a level of anxiety here towards a situation that you don't need to have. We have M.W. Turner, find the facts in a feeling, nature does not sit still. The sun will rise whether or not you are there to watch it. This is reminding me that there's just some things we don't have control over, and you're being asked to process why you're feeling the things you are and why I feel like you're a little adverse to these changes taking place around you. And you're really being asked to let go of what you can't control here, because this feels like a big thing that you're being asked to practice radical acceptance here. And know that with good always comes bad, and with bad always comes good. And with happiness, there's always despair, and with the despair, there's always happiness. There's always these dualities to life that always coexist together. And I feel like you're trying to see this in black and white terms, and this is much more gray and nuanced than you're giving it credit for. Maybe watching the sunrise or the sunset could help spark this sacred awareness in you. I feel like you might just be a little too earth-based right now and need a little bit more of a bird's eye view on things. We have Quicksilver. I'm hearing Willow by Taylor Swift. The more that you say, the less I know. Wherever you sway, I follow. I think that you'll enjoy this path once you surrender to it. I think it's opening up your eyes in a way that you'll really appreciate. It's just surrendering into the flow and not trying to control it. So Quicksilver is all about slipping between worlds. And I think you have been in one world for so long that it's hard for you to look at another world or another perspective. This is the metal of sacred thresholds. And shamanic practitioners of every tradition must acquire the ability to stand at the doorway between worlds. This is no small feat. This is the work of the shaman, sage, artist, and alchemist. The sacred threshold requires your attendance. Yeah. You're being asked to be more flexible and adaptable to these experiences. I think you might have a more rigid point of view, and you're being asked to, maybe your psychic abilities are trying to open up right now, and you're being too logical about it. You're just being asked to say yes and open your mind to these experiences if you want them. This is just a different way of looking at the world. It really is. One. We were talking about how we're all just a drop in the ocean. We are all one. And I think you're probably going through some sort of awakening right now. And you're being asked to just surrender to the flow and know that everything has meaning, and what you see in other people is a reflection of yourself, and what you might be trying to suppress in yourself might be things in other people that trigger you or make you uncomfortable. So, yes, we are one. I love that there's so many circles here. You're just being asked to look at your life in a different way. Trust. Yes, the situation will unfold as it's meant to. You're just being asked to loosen your grip on it and trust that where you're being led is where you're meant to be. And you have everything within you you need to be prepared for this situation. It's just a matter of being accepting and letting it unfold one day at a time. Party leader. So I think you might be dealing with somebody who has triggered you in some way because they're revealing something about you or something that reveals a part of your identity that you had suppressed for a while. So what you're being asked to do is surrender to the fact that this person is open to these gifts and know that you can have this too. And just because one person's taking up space doesn't lessen your amount of space. We can all take up as much space as we want to. I think you might have a little bit of a scarcity mindset towards different perspectives in the world, and you're being reminded that everything can fit. And as long as people are trying to help other people and aren't doing harm to others, things will work out, and not everything leads to disaster. You have this in you too. And whatever experience you're going through right now is to show you that you have this power and this vibrancy too. And this is honestly a way of building your self-worth and understanding that you are sacred and everything is sacred. So yes, pile 2, this is what I'm getting for you. I hope this reading helped. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of my readings, and I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye. Hey, pile 3. If you chose this dolly elephant, then this is your reading all about the best strategy for your situation. So let's get into it. We're going to look at the tarot cards first, and then dive into the oracle cards. Okay. What is the situation that pile 3 is asking about? 10 of Swords and the Sun. What is the best strategy for them? 10 of Cups and 5 of Cups in reverse. And what is any extra context that we might need? 5 of Swords and the Devil in reverse. Okay, this is very much like a yin-yang, there's bad in the good, there's good in the bad kind of situation. Like, it's not all good or it's not all bad. So whatever situation you're inquiring about, I love that I just said inquire, that felt interesting. Anyway, the situation you're asking about, I think you were pretty burnt out, and I feel like you're caught between, you know what you need to do here, pile 3. You know that this, whatever you decide, could cause some conflict and negative projections from other people. But with this situation, you're just being told to follow your happiness. Follow your heart. Point blank, period, mic drop. You are meant to follow your happiness and know that there's always going to be negatives that come from any decision. But you should be making decisions for yourself and your utmost happiness. And you're meant to follow your heart and follow your happiness. And look at this from a place of abundance and know that all of your needs are going to be met. One step at a time. And you're being asked to let go of obsessive thinking about this and just act on your heart. Know what works for you. You're being asked not to fixate on what you have to sacrifice for this, but instead what truly makes you happy. Because life is composed of sacrifices. To go to college, we have to sacrifice money and time. To move to a new place, we have to sacrifice that old place. There's just constant, like, life is a constant sacrifice process, but it leads to better. And so you're being asked to focus more on what will bring you true fulfillment in the long run, rather than maybe temporary losses or temporary pains. Because I see a definitive ending here that will lead to your utmost happiness. So you're being asked to do what you need to do to get to this place of happiness. Not in a Machiavellian sense, but in the sense that no matter what you choose, nobody wins, nobody wins and nobody loses. It's a paradox. So you might as well choose what feels right and will make you feel like you win in the long run. It's just like there will be sacrifices you have to make here, and I see that you know this, and it's what's holding you back from fully going for what you want. But in your heart and in your innermost knowing, you know what you want. And this is one of those things that, like, you can't have it all. You can't have all of it. Can't be great. There has to be some sort of sacrifice here. That's kind of life on life's terms. So this is like an example that I could use. Yours is probably, probably not the situation. It's probably very different. But I nanny for this little girl that is incredible. She's like just the sweetest girl, and I love spending time with her, but I'm planning to quit soon. And it's one of those things that's bittersweet. Like, I have so many more options opening up to me by choosing to walk away and spend time doing other things. But I love this girl, and I feel so sad that I have to say goodbye to her and, won't watch her grow up. It's just one of those things that, like, you have to let go of things to bring new things in. And I know that her parents love her, and she will have great support, and just one of those bittersweet things. And I see that's what you're facing, is that more possibilities opening up for you, but you have to let go of something. And nobody wins here, but you need to do what will give you the longest long-term happiness. So what makes your heart sing? What are you feeling called towards? That's your destiny. That's where you're meant to go. And wherever you find this light, this vibrancy, whatever feels warm, whatever feels like stirs the passion in your heart, that's where you're meant to go. And you're not meant to obsess over this. You're meant to make swift and decisive action for yourself, because you'd rather rip off the Band-Aid than let this hurt longer. Yeah. It's better to be swift and decisive here. I'm seeing that for sure, so that you can move towards your happy new beginning with whatever this situation is. So choose your happiness. Don't look at this from a place of lack. Look at it from a place of abundance. Your needs will be met. So let's look at the oracle cards. We have the Mystic, Thanatos, yep, and the Eternal Child. Your heart knows where you want to go, and the Mystic talks about going into the dark to understand the light. And I think this is one of those situations that to get to the light, you'll have to deal with some darkness. And this change will be in your highest good and lead you to a lot of happiness and passion. And really, it's the right path for you in the long run. But that doesn't mean you don't have to. It's like the light at the end of the tunnel. You still have to walk through the darkness of the tunnel to get to the light. And that's kind of the situation that's playing out here. But I see so much happiness and celebration and good times because of these choices. You know what's right for you in your heart, so follow that. And don't listen. This isn't a time that you should be listening to external opinions. This is really a time that you need to follow what feels right for you. Oh my God, we have Sigmund Freud. Oh my God. The virtuous content themselves. The reason I'm laughing is because I always talk about Carl Jung, because I love Carl Jung's work, and Freud and him were like frenemies. So it's funny Freud's coming up in one of my readings, because I always reference Jung and never reference Freud. So hey, Freud. The virtuous content themselves with dreaming what the wicked do in real life. The behavior of a human in sexual matters is often a prototype for the whole of his life. Pure masculinity or femininity is not to be found. Yeah, what I'm thinking about with the pure masculinity or femininity is not to be found is it's the same as like pure goodness, or like you can't fully ever win or you can't fully ever lose. Like it's like the yin yang. There's good in the bad and there's bad in the good. And we tend to think of things in black and white, but most things are in this gray area that like life falls on a spectrum. And you're not going to have an answer to this situation that's all good or one that's all bad. But you should choose the one that is more good for you and empowers you more and could lead to lasting fulfillment for you. Sophie Calais. Put on a good show for the surveillance cameras. Distance makes the heart break stronger. Invade neighboring states of privacy. So this girl was one of the first people to broadcast. She broadcasted her apartment 24/7 online. And really right when the internet started booming. So she was the first digital surveillance artist or something like that. And at least I'm pretty sure that's who this woman is. I learned about her in school. So in a college course, I hope that's correct. So anyway, that's who I think this is. Yeah, because it's put on a good show for the surveillance cameras. Anyway. I think you're really worried about how the appearances of this and how this looks to other people, and you're being asked to just do what's true to you. And there's something here about protecting yourself and honoring yourself and what feels right to you, and not doing things for external approval. That's very clear. You might have people who are watching what you're doing or keeping tabs on you, and you're being asked to pay it no mind. And follow your arrow. We have separatio. Yeah, there's something you're separating from. There's something that you're walking away from to bring more abundance into your life. And this will lead to so much goodness and happiness, but it doesn't come without the pain. So follow your emotional fulfillment and know that it's out there. And don't settle for less than you deserve. You're this bird that can fly, metaphorically. And the mystic has wings too. I think you're being called upwards and onwards, and you're having to leave something behind. And there's the pain that comes with that, but also the beauty of the future. You're living on the corner of bitter and sweet. That's what I'm seeing in the cards here. And you're being asked to rip off the Band-Aid and go in the direction you know your heart longs for. We have Taurus and 33. Yeah, I think you have a project or some creative goal, some sort of direction your life is taking that's very divinely guided. And Taurus season might have been significant, or a Taurus might be significant in the near future. The letter T, too. Spirit's saying that you're on the right track and you're expanding, and I feel like this is really you coming into a life that fulfills you, and you're meant to sacrifice the past for the future. Okay. Success. Yeah, when you walk away from this, you'll find success. Trust where you're being led. This is really powerful, pile 3. I know this is painful, but as long as you choose what feels right in your heart, you're going the right way. Pink Bubble Fairy. The Pink Bubble Fairy is all about wanting to help you bring your dreams to life. This fairy helps carry your wishes in soft pink bubbles to the place in which they can be heard and fulfilled. Hard work is important to accomplishing your desires, but also you have such power within your dreams. You know your intentions, focus on them deeply, and have trust that in the gentle pink light they are being heard. Wow. You know what you want, you know what you're going after, and you're being asked to follow it and believe in your dreams. This looks like a dragonfly to me too. Some way. Dragonflies might be an omen for you. Okay, pile 3. This is beautiful. You are on the right track. Just keep following your heart. This is all I'm getting for you. It was an honor to read for you. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and I'll see you in another reading. Take care. Bye. Hey, pile 4. If you chose the carnelian stone, then this is your reading all on what strategy will best suit your situation. So let's get into it. We're going to start with the tarot cards. And first I'm going to ask what this situation might be, and then what strategy to use, and any additional info we might need. So let's get into it. What is the situation pile 4 is needing help with? Okay. We have the Page of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Two of Swords in reverse. How can they best? What is the best strategy for this? Ten of Wands and the King of Pentacles. I'm hearing prove them wrong. Any additional info we need? Justice in reverse. Five of Cups in reverse. And the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. And we've got the Three of Wands on the back. So, the situation that you're dealing with that's causing you strife definitely has to do with other people and their unwillingness to see your point of view. I keep hearing pay them no mind. Somebody's projecting their fears onto you and is making a situation way more complicated than it needs to be for you. And hear me out, because you deserve the space to be who you are and be who you want to be in this world. And I have a feeling that this person you're dealing with is very cynical and has put a lot of weight on you, expecting you to be a certain way and to achieve certain things. And they definitely operate from an egoic, material lens. And what I'm hearing about this situation is that either way, it's going to be painful. But you must choose yourself. To conform and to conform to everyone else is neglecting yourself. So you're meant to grieve the fact you can't control how these people perceive your actions and still move forward. Because I see whatever you're building and whatever these people are being critical of is going to be fruitful. You're going to be stable and it will be sustainable. You're carrying a lot of other people's expectations and pressures on your back. And I really feel like fear has been incited in you by this situation, and these people are looking at this from a place of lack, and they have a very skewed perspective on what it is you're building, and you're being asked to believe in yourself and know that this phase will pass. I'm hearing out of sight, out of mind. I think if this person is trying to stand in your way, you're just being asked to continue to do the actionable steps you know you can do to get to your goal. And pay them no mind as you do these actions. You are making moves, and this person wants you to stay on their level and not grow past them. And whatever they're doing is manipulative, pile 4. And I see a lot of other people's opinions in this mix. And you're being asked to stay logical, stay practical, and just continue taking the next right step for yourself. And whoever's opinions these are, I think they might be an authority figure or someone you care about's perspective, and how they've been handling this has disappointed you. But Spirit's saying that their point of view is not your truth. And you're being asked to move forward and act swiftly and with confidence towards the things that your heart is calling toward. Continue to expand, continue to grow, and you're being asked to detach from the opinions of others. I can feel the pain here I think it's definitely affected your solar plexus and your sacral chakras, because this was someone you thought you could confide in and work with, and they're making you second guess yourself. This seems like a karmic situation that you're meant to stay true to yourself in and deal with this grief, but move forward and move towards people who understand you and motivate you, and don't let this bump in the road knock you off course, because I see you really are on the right course. But you have to let go of the care you have about their opinions towards you and realize that the way they're perceiving this is a projection of their fears and how they perceive the world, and it has nothing to do with you. So you're being asked to let this go and choose yourself here. Let's look at the oracle cards for more context. Oh my God, the medallion. This talks about a burdensome inheritance and family karma. So you might be dealing with some family issues right now, and family opinions and expectations, and you know in your heart what's right for you, and you're being asked to follow that and trust that you can show them through your actions that this is the right path for you, rather than, I feel like they're the kind of people who have to see it to believe it. So just keep working towards your stability and security and whatever makes you happy and fulfilled in life, and let go of the weight of their expectations and the burden that they've put on you. This definitely feels like generational trauma, generational karma, and it goes way further back than you. So don't feel as though these fears that are being projected onto you and these words have anything to do with you directly. It has to do with something much bigger than that. I really see that you're growing a solid foundation for yourself, and do not underestimate yourself at this time, and don't take on your family's projections of you as the truth, because it's not. We have Edward VIII. One knight can follow you for the rest of your life. A king is nothing without the woman he loves. Make your own kingdom and choose your own family. And then we have the Hugh Hefner card. I do not like Hugh Hefner. Okay, so I'm going to move this, but let's remember the Hugh Hefner card was here, because what I'm feeling is with Edward VIII, you're not meant to cut off your family, but you're meant to carry less weight in what they like in their opinions. You're meant to hold less weight in how they feel about what you do. With Choose Your Own Family, you're meant to find people who share a common perspective or want the best for you or want you to be as happy as you can be and don't project fears onto you. With the Hugh Hefner card, I see a hypocrisy towards your actions. I think they fear what they don't understand, and family is obviously very important, but so is your perspective and what you want out of life. I'm hearing Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac. As long as what you're doing doesn't hurt other people, like Hugh Hefner did, just saying, he exploited women, but if what you're doing in your path and your passion doesn't hurt other people, pursue it, go after it. You should always be able to do what you want to do as long as it isn't hurting another person. So, be courageous here. Chart your own course. I'm thinking of Moana and how her family didn't want her to go in the water, but she did, and then helped a lot of people. Feels like that. We have Georgia O'Keeffe. Nature can keep a secret, keep Freud guessing. You can't run away from yourself, but running away from others can be quite productive. So Spirit's really reiterating that more space away from these perspectives and opinions could be helpful for you right now. Running away from others can be quite productive. I think as much as you can get space and do what you love without fear of judgment, I think that's completely appropriate. And yeah, we only have one life, you know, or we only live this incarnation once. So spend it doing the things that you're passionate about, even if they're outside of the norm or whatever anyone thinks. It's your life. Pile 4. We have lightning and rotation. Maybe your family's really caught up in appearances, and there's a kind of perfection they might hold you to that's missing the point of human life. We're meant to have trial and error and do things that are out of the box. And there's conviction here that you're meant to aspire to a profound practicality, meaning, yes, you have to do certain things to live a sustainable life, but besides that, the practical matter is that you deserve to live a happy life and doing things that fulfill you. And rotation talks about how our efforts are cumulative, not singular. So just keep making an effort and doing the work over and over again on what you want to achieve. And the more you do this, the more this life you dream of will come into balance. With the spider here, it takes a spider time to weave a web. It's not one string and they formed a web. It's multiple. It's cumulative efforts that creates this web. And this is what you're meant to do. And this might be a frustrating stage because it causes restlessness and impatience, but it's the heart of any worthwhile act on earth. So continue to do your work. Weave your web, even though other spiders are not weaving webs. They forgot how, but you know how to weave a web, so do it. We have ninth house. So the ninth house is sometimes called the house of philosophy. And it's about self-awakening and connecting to higher principles and things that are metaphysical and connecting to your truths. And it also talks about what we're interested in life and what we want in terms of relationships and friends, chosen family. So you're being asked to follow what you're interested in, what you're passionate about, and know that as long as you continue to do this, the right people will come into your life that connect with the higher principles you care about and who are also on this self-awakening journey. You're a very introspective, wise person, and don't let other people's limited beliefs limit your beliefs. Never be limited by other people's limited imaginations. You're ready. You're ready to choose yourself and be strong in this. And you have to make the conscious decision not to let other people's judgments affect you and continue to do your work. As long as you continue to do your work, you will be successful, Pile 4, regardless of anyone's negative projections. You're a beautiful soul who is really doing great things. Laughing and crying. Yeah, this reminds me of yin yang. There's bad in the good, there's good in the bad, and that's life. And this journey, while it's true to you and causing you so much joy, it also has its pitfalls, and these are what we're seeing here with family judgment. But soon you'll be laughing again, and nothing lasts forever, so these feelings will pass. But right now they're causing you grief, and I'm very sorry for that. And it's hard also when it's people who raised you and taught you how to live a certain way. Their judgments can feel like an authority or the truth, and they're not. So don't let that happen for you. Because I've talked to people about how sometimes when you're growing up, your parents feel like a higher power because they have that authority. But that's not true. And your higher power wants you to create and wants you to escape conviction and be true to yourself. So keep connected to this third eye and know that feeling these feelings is exactly what you're meant to do, and continue on your own way. Listen to Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac. I think that would be really awesome for you. So yeah, Pile 4, this is the strategy that best suits your situation. And I know you can do this. Just keep doing the work. So this is all I'm seeing for you. It was an honor to read for you. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of my readings, and I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye.